A lot of people wonder what you need to work from home as a fashion freelancer. First, obligatory disclaimer that it does depend on what services you're offering. Because a technical designer needs different supplies than someone who's drawing fashion flats or doing design. But there are 3 things that most people assume you need that you can actually skip. First up is a dress form. Unless you're offering pattern or sample making, you don't need a dress form to be a fashion freelancer. If you're doing design, you'll primarily use Adobe Illustrator, which costs about $21 a month to subscribe. And you can cover that expense and make way more than you think as a freelancer. If you're curious about your earning potential, I created a free cash calculator. Just input 2 simple numbers and it'll show you how much money you can make. All right, next up, you don't need a bunch of fancy sewing machines. Truth is, most people in fashion don't use a sewing machine. Now, if you are offering pattern or sample making services, then yes, you will need to sew. But most services don't require that you put a needle and thread in anything. And the third thing you don't need is a Pantone book. This tiny book with little cotton swatches costs over $1,300. And most freelancers don't need it, at least at first. Here's why. Chances are a lot of your gigs, at least to start with, will be with smaller independent fashion brands. And guess what? They're not using custom Pantone colors because custom dyeing fabric is really expensive and the minimums are super high. So instead, they buy in-stock fabric and colors from wholesalers, which means you don't need to pick Pantone colors. So what do you need to be a fashion freelancer and work from home? Most fashion freelancers can get by with just 3 things. First, a computer. It may sound obvious, but I get asked all the time if an iPad or tablet is sufficient. The answer is simple. If you can do the work, then you can get by. But I personally recommend upgrading to a computer when you can. It's more robust and you'll be more efficient, which means you'll make more money. The second thing you'll need is Adobe Illustrator. As I said, it costs about $21 a month, and whether you're doing fashion flats or tech packs or design, you'll likely need it. The third thing you might need is Excel. It costs about $10 a month and you'll use it for things like tech packs and technical design. I know some people who get away with Google Sheets, which is totally free, so it's up to you. And as I said earlier, if you're offering something more technical and specialized like pattern making or sample making, then yeah, you'll need some different supplies like a dress form, sewing machines, and some pattern making software. But the bottom line is that you actually need a lot less than you think. Most fashion freelancers get away with a little bit of software for around $20 a month. As I said, calculate your earning potential to see how much you can make to quickly cover that expense. And if you're curious about the step-by-step process to become a successful fashion freelancer and work from home, I cover it all in my free limited time training, 1 week to 1K. You'll learn the 5 simple steps to land your first client without business skills or a network. Tap the button on the video or click the link below to get free instant access. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi and I'm here to help you kick ass as a successful fashion freelancer. It was the only way I didn't burn out in the industry. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. You got this. First, obligatory disclaimer. Unless you're offering pattern making and sample making, so instead, they buy custom, they don't buy custom. If you're curious about my earning potential,